Good morning. Or whatever it is, wherever you are. So we went from one undocumented host endpoint to the other undocumented host endpoint. Now they've both been shut down. Let's see. API wise, I think this just goes in next major version. So it doesn't really hurt to have it laying around there. And is that a checked in file? Now speaking of checked in files. Well, so we've got, well, two apps offhand that are definitely directly impacted by this. I know I had to do a quick patch on this. Okay, so this should be up to date, unless I forgot to push it as well. Well, I guess we see what happens when I bring it up, huh? So we log in. Oh, no, I do need to push that. Yeah, those code windows are long gone. This is programming, Elm, hosting clips, get me eternal. Yep. Oh, but that actually put it into the URL, which isn't. I guess I do want to make sure that this works. Okay. For dev purposes, that's fine. Oop. And we would expect, yep, 410 gone. So I don't necessarily want to remove the code since this was like the original purpose of the app. And there are, first pass on this is get it so we're not hitting a missing endpoint. There are some possible other things we could do, but I don't want to take a big tangent to do all that right now. So I could have this do nothing. Let's see, how much of this do we need? Just that. Hmm. So then the question is, are we counting on that thing coming back to progress state? This is on self. Next choice. I guess say if we've got enough, then don't keep polling, maybe? So this is like a totally worthless case. But that might be the easiest way to take it out. This doesn't have a catch-all. Oh, this could just be an empty array. Fetch user by ID, fetch self, fetch user by name, which is all kind of like ratcheting up to make that call. I wonder if we're actually dependent on this to kick things off. Oh, and then you were doing a both. All right, and then how exactly we make this call, we don't know anymore. Okay, that compiles. Yeah, we were probably waiting for the hosting call to come through before we kicked things off. So, well, no, we still have that as a message. Capital host, please. So wherever we would have done that, and the fan's running. Of course, fan's probably not louder than the chainsaw. So is that a maybe pick command we need instead? Oh, well, the timer kicked it off. So probably it's maybe pick command, and that just takes model. So we have to track down all those places where we were doing fetch hosts. And I might need to get a whole model for them then. Although, how much information does this need? We need clips. Okay, so fetch hosts, which does not have the piece of information that needs to make its decisions. So unless we're dealing with the thanks or the clips, it doesn't matter if we're using an update model. Although we've got a model here anyway. Next choice. Probably not the one we're worried about here, although I guess that was... Yeah, because we're running a pick command here. That's just pending requests. So actually, yeah, that one shouldn't be a problem. This is setting pending requests and then processing whatever we did. So maybe? Oh, we are in the process of updating the model here. That does a pick command. This pick command might use more stuff. Model.host. Well, I don't think that's the parameters per se. Oop. All right, did we display everything right? Okay, that does not immediately switch into doing something. Maybe the time that this goes off, like the host command would go off, fetch something in return. That takes time. By the time that got back, maybe other things would have been in place. Okay, so not a whole heck of a lot happened. We got current time, we got a pick, loaded, window size. This hasn't fetched the user's own clips. Maybe he considers those cached? Oh, I can't change the size. Yeah, pick. Which is a word in... So what's happening when we go here? Well, we've got self clips and other clips. We know there's going to be no other. Oh, right. Debugger pause. Yeah, you've got nothing. What triggers that? Was it the host coming back? Word hosts. Now, I assumed that choices was just the host. I guess that would have to be a fetch clips, which is from self. I didn't see any self messages come back. Okay, so that's not the only thing that does that. Try to track which commands we sent. Pick. Maybe we had it cached. So that's if we have no user ID and no login. Right, which would mean we just have the auth token, but we put those in the URL, so we should already have them. So would that be a change? Okay, so that's the only time we fetch self. We need request video data for thanks. Self clip auth. Nothing, fetch it. Otherwise we don't have to do anything. Well, you might have to ask Ned that. I might have rated him sometime. But I'm pretty sure that when this was working, I saw his clips come up every now and then. I do game modding and stuff sometimes, but this is a couple things I use in my OBS scenes, and it's the current problem. If I wasn't working on this, I'd be working on a boon graph for Hades, which I guess I'm not. It's not making games; it's making game-related stuff, and it might turn into a mod sometime. Resolve loaded. Oh, okay. Model.auth, model.user ID. Okay, so if we've got a clip cache, then we're not going to send that. And the choices is that, so we should have choices. I guess what I'm concerned about is when at the time we do the pick. Yeah, array 0. So we're doing something that's triggering a pick before we trigger loaded. So what are we doing? Let's see, we put this in, well, we know self didn't come back. That's not a new one, that's not a new one. Maybe there was an old pick that, well, alright, so let's take out the new ones. See if there's one of those that's happening anyway. Okay, it is one of those new ones. Which one would that be? Well, we didn't see self, so unless I'm triggering self from somewhere else. And the debugger is doing messages, not when update was called. Oh, well, I mean, the window size is because I resized it. There's a next request. Maybe I do current URL at the start? Update current URL. Current time, loaded window size. And we do that in init. Okay, and then current URL. is one of the things we're modifying. So this is... That would change who we're hosting. I guess it doesn't necessarily change anything else here. So that's the thing that we're triggering off fetch hosts. Fetch hosts was that sometimes triggering a pick. So I guess I need to find the path where we load our self clip array and make sure that that is doing a pick afterwards. Next, I really want an update to clips. There was some little sub function. And I'm not hitting it. What was I searching for? Something to do with the clip cache. Resolve loaded. Append requests is fetch clips for self. Okay, so if we do this, well, there's two things there. Well, there's this case, which we're member or not member, and there is we don't have auth. I guess this means we have the means to get this somehow. Fetch clips, I think, will probably make it reconsider. Maybe. Of course, we may have still been able to count on hosts coming back. So if we use the pre-update model, we might not have clips, and if my recollection is that maybe pick command looks for is empty clips. Well, I guess model.thanks would also be no hosts, wouldn't it? So that might be okay. Then I may have to force it to do a fetch clips to see if that case responds properly. Okay, so that did immediately that. So to force this, might be easier to do that. To do a fetch, and that also ends up doing refresh. Okay. So we've got update. We've got monitor. And I've still got a debug log somewhere. Right, I was doing something with... the self list? And let's see, does this one have... No, this does not have any chat integration yet. So it would be a major project to try and get this working off chat announcements. Remove calls to Kraken hosts. Well, remove host clips, really. And we need to update that later. All right, so the other one that's definitely calling this, although not as often. That's probably where close all. Well, you're gonna have different URL information probably. Okay, I should get at least a login page. That was weird. I wonder if it was caching something. Yeah, so it actually tried twice. Well, that may have actually been a mistake. All right, so fetch hosts. Probably we want to do something similar. We just don't make the call. And that's only on a refresh, so... And then was that the only use we used for Kraken? Yes. I guess I should have deleted that, huh? So I must have done a double refresh when logging in. Okay. So that one was easier for basic removal. Yeah, that... yes, the chat host commands, which... I don't know if I can test that. Let's see, am I currently dumping all messages here? No, I am not. Oh, I was wondering if I needed um, chat stuff. Hello. All right. Well, this is the basic remove hosts. And we'll have to get that published later. Oh, I should check. Hosting clips, stream credits. I don't think Hostable used that one. No. Well, did you actually get... Yeah, we've got a... Well, this might be... This is for a outgoing host, because it's watching this channel. I might have to see if I can get like a incognito window up with the bot and like have it host me. But that's for outgoing hosts. So you don't need that. Schedule's not going to need that. And I think that's all of the Twitch apps. All right, so this already has a chat interface. Stream credits. Where do we handle chat response? Well, okay, we've got a host target thing. I have a feeling it's not going off. Okay, so there's all the miscellaneous stuff. Room state. All right. No, what is it? No, that's not it either. Control Shift P. Hmm. All right, there's that. Ah. I wonder if I could set this up with a better two-factor. Oh, that was an email. Okay. Okay, and actually that's a real slow check, so we have to go to the other email. Maybe it picked it up since. Or maybe it's just slow. Oh, yep. Gmail did pick it up since. So actually, I guess to do that, I'm going to have to get to the chat interface for this. Oops. And we, in fact, do not get anything. So this is where there was the question about caps. Get better sidebars with being a little bit wider. Scopes? Yeah, these are for issuing commands. Membership state data. What does that mean? I guess it's whatever's in here. Join in part. Tags we've got. Oh, okay. A command capability. Do we have any cap stuff here? This is a cap message. Oh. And it's supposed to cap back. Which I did not... Well, I got a cap message. It didn't respond with any... Well, was I only doing the message and not the data? I may have only been printing the... Line.command, not line. What calls you? From multiple lines. And I guess I'm going to have to keep unhosting and hosting to... I wonder, can I... Can I pop out the other chat? And then not have that as a live thing. I tweaked some shaders in Planetary Annihilation, but that's about as far as I've gone. And it was a pretty minor, like, color switch thing. Okay, so there's all the details. So when we get cap, we got twitched commands, which cap ack on, is it saying cap ack or is it saying like cap failed? No, it's saying cap ack. So it's telling me I got it. Oh, one host command remaining this half hour, so... And also, I'm not sure that that's going to count for a rehost like that. So this isn't even a very good way to test it. Yeah, that's probably for this channel. Hosting channel. Huh. Okay, so that's not even an out. I thought there was a way we could get the chat going to figure this out, and there's just no information. No, not that. Not that. Stats, panels. There's a hosting U panel. So it's like Twitch has it. This is probably all GQL or GQL stuff, though. Polyfill. I mean, it's probably not going to be stat. Yeah. The undocumented internal API. This is like really undocumented. It does have a law origin star. Of course, that was the options. I don't like this about the hash things. Static, static, static. Oh, I guess I didn't. Does the response show actual data? Yeah, okay. So that would be it if... Yeah, I don't know if they're doing API keys, if they're doing... Just if we see it from a weird domain, don't do that. Hmm. General notices. Now, I don't know if there's anything special because that was like a 0 host. All right, so let's go into edit to remove that again. Okay. I guess I thought that would be, well, if I was republishing libraries, that would be more work. If I was actually publishing, that would be more work. You'd think it would be in this category. What's under a notice? Um, well, no, because I've got the commands cap. And membership is just join and leave. That wouldn't be it. That's only commands, unless getting the notice is tied to. Well, no, because I'm signed into this as me. I guess that maybe the token I used for this didn't request any caps. Wait. Chatty got it. So there is some message. There's an event log. No. Now that probably is logged in. Well, it is logged in as me. What caps do they request? Oh, I have to do a check mark to log IRC. Okay. Oh, no, 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 no. So that means it might not have that in here at all. So if we do IRC log and okay, that's relatively as expected. And then we go back and see if this even triggers. Yeah, probably because we hosted earlier. Because I'm not seeing that in the even in the chatty event log. So I'd basically have to do some other kind of... I needed basically an entire another stream session. Is Chatty open source? Now, finding this is going to be kind of a needle in a haystack. I guess we could maybe look for scopes. Actually, this is going to be a terrible way to search. Is this where I put my offsite? Yes. Oh, we've got variable scope. Scope, user read, channel commercial, user subscriptions, chat login, user follows edit, channel read redemptions, channel editor, user edit broadcast, channel subscriptions, channel moderate. So apparently you have to be a editor to host and unhost. So that's probably what you would need to get those. But as we just saw, but even Chatty wasn't printing that just now. So I don't even know if we can test it on this stream. Other thing, even that's not really it. Because I started up this stream and there was no "is now hosting you" messages. So even that wouldn't really tell me anything. Unless Chatty's ignoring them. Oh no, actually I did get two, I guess. Huh. Not after the test, though. Probably some kind of cooldown. And who knows what that cooldown is. I mean, we've only been logging for 5 minutes now. But I'd have to have that log set when starting a stream to see if Chatty was just like ignoring some messages there. I might have to turn off like auto join a channel. Maybe if I shut it down with IRC log on, it would be on when we turn on when we reset. Uh, well, that much we can test. Is that event log? No, it's not event log. Extra debug window? Okay, that it does remember that setting. Definitely does not get currently hosting. So I just have to leave that on for a little bit and see if next time when I start a stream if we get stuff. But it generally gives me like all the kind of startup messages. So I don't know what would be hiding those. Well, now I'm trying to think if there's any other things I can actually do here. We had put in a debug line that's not doing us any good. As good as that's going to get. Okay, so there's that. The other one, I mean, and these things are both like really crippled now. Well, I guess on hosting clips, I could try to have some way to set a manual list of other clips to show. Maybe be able to take like hostable files or something. I don't know if that's a one morning project. Oh, what do those look like? ID display name tags. Is there something else? There's the game information, which I'd almost have to be. I almost have to be like reproducing a large part of hostable. How much would that be? The scoring is probably actually in the view, but maybe we could extract some stuff first. But this is the kind of thing that's probably definitely more than a morning's project. Sorted streams, so that's currently in the view. We might be able to pull that out somewhere. Which in turn depends on rank stream. That goes directly from this model. Now I might need to do some sort of abstraction in terms of the stuff that needs. Now you see, that's live streams. We would just be looking at all of those channels. Oh, and this is going to go by current game. We're not going to have any information on what their current game is or what game the clip is of. Persisted is a little bit of a hostable specific thing too. I guess the ranking is the really gnarly part. And this is stream specific. So I can't even necessarily use this in a generic way. User for stream, game for stream. Do clips even have game? There is a game ID. It's going to be often wrong. Well, I guess clips not going to be as bad as streams. But I can't like just reuse this unless we're doing something like this is a thing that has certain fields. That has a user ID. And really, I could kind of build that into the call there. Stream.gameID. We could just say stream.gameID. And really, this is just kind of a convenience method, I guess, because it's a very simple call. Of course, the other problem is I'm running this in an OBS tab, so I don't know if I can do imports and exports there. I guess one way to test that get a browser. This is the public one. Yeah. And that might actually be a login thing. So let's do, can I do window projector? I guess Interact's going to be its own projector, isn't it? Yeah. And then actually turn that off. I actually, oh, you know what? Actually, shoot, I've got no, I can't like back on this. How about, oh, it's still in login mode. Okay. All right, so Interact, can I go, Nope, I can't paste. Logged in. Okay, that was in fact logged in as the bot. Oh, I can't paste here. Period. uh. And email loop again. Oh, I actually need to do this. I might need to do this elsewhere. Because that did not loop into the login. Oh, okay. Then the authorized page. Wait. And then I grabbed the wrong URL. Fabulous. Hostable, please. Wait. Do I have the wrong redirect URL in here? What would that be? It would be a twitch.tv. Well, that'd be for that. Authorize. Is the current URL. I wonder. Is it going to localhost? Because it's in. Because it's in OBS. I guess most of the time I end up logging into these things outside and then doing the OAuth redirect. I guess I could type in the OAuth token. It's just kind of long and annoying. Okay, that is a website on the internet. It is not stream credits. Oh, yeah, it's tied into a local host. So the key assigned to it is localhost. So I have to change the API token associated with this app? Hmm. Okay. Now, where is that like probably a Twitch ID? That example. So I have to change that when I publish this, I guess. So it's associated with the proper address. I wonder if I took the old token that was associated with localhost, did I just happen to use it on the web one? Does that? Well, I mean, I'm using it here, so obviously that works. It's gonna be really annoying to type in. Since paste doesn't work. And yeah, doesn't even fit into the window we've allocated for it. Okay. All right, from there, no visible response to export. I can choose a file. Is there a download? There's not another download. Hmm. So I can. I guess if I needed to set up an export, which I kind of wanted to set up an export from hosting clips anyway. It would have to be like here, but I can't copy paste. Well, can I copy but not paste? Well, nope. Okay. We cannot copy or paste unless there's a special. I could ask around OBS to see if there's a way to copy and paste in interact mode. Well, actually, there's no data right now. So what if we just went into here and added one thing? Yeah. Now it could be going. It could be downloading somewhere in OBS. It has a little download directory or something. Or they just don't allow that. But import certainly works. Well, scroll doesn't. So I'd need to do some serious UI work. But I could import a list. So you're relying on, well, the other app hasn't had to do anything with games before. Although if we've got that rated by game ID, did not leave that open. Yeah, ID. I don't really even need the rest of the information for this. So I'd have to bring over all of the import export, well, at least the import parsers. Do we have a separate thing? No, we just have persist, which has an export as a sub. Because it shares like user and game, and I guess that's just a string float. And let's see, does... Well, now I'm flipping back and forth between things. You've got your own persist, so we've already got a module with that name. I guess I could just copy those things. But what if this ever had an import-export format? Guess we just have to deal with it. Actually, is there some general stuff on... Nope. Which one is it? Classic only. Sources. I guess the typical answer for this is you have a service that configures stuff, and then it just, you load the configured thing that gets stuff from the server. Shorthand null check character. What? Oh, this is like some late version JavaScript stuff. Yeah, I'm not finding general documentation. Copy and paste sources. Well, it's not like there's a known issue. 25.01, 5.08. 26.111. I don't know what ACT is. DPS when playing Final Fantasy. Oh, so basically you want to display this on stream. So a browser tab opened. .206. Hadn't been tested on Windows. OBS browser repo. Next major OBS version, which is in testing right now, I think. Although I guess I didn't look to see if it was a major or minor. 27.0, which I think is in testing right now. OBS. It was announcements. OBS v27 is almost here and is now in beta. So that might be something that's possible in the future. I don't know if that would affect the file download as well. Yeah, I was going to talk about like downloading the plugin and downloading OBS. I'd have to figure out what the actual like internal API was called. Although I guess if I got copy paste working, there's always just do a text area and copy it. So come version 27 would be able to do it that way. Is there another way to do that? Well, I'd actually have to run some sort of service to manage settings outside of that browser environment, as would an online alert service or whatever. I don't know if there's any good way to do that without actually running the server full time. I guess I could treat the local storage as a cache of some settings thing that got kind of fetched in the background. Then you'd be able to do a Sleepy Heroku task to serve as the back end. I had one app I used that basically asked you to integrate with Google Drive to store its settings. I don't know what that would take to set up. But that probably wasn't really intended to be used in a browser source either, because you have to do the remote login there. If you're trying to build out something really fancy, you could maybe do like little Lambda services that would get you the Twitch requests, so you wouldn't have to do the login inline. I'd need an actual data store to store the hosting preference data, though. Or the clip preference data, I guess. So it would be possible to import data right now to get a clip target. Actually, I could probably fudge it a little bit. Although, do I currently expire data, or do I just do it to refresh? Because I think I did put something on the clip list for a time. Yeah, clip cache and name cache does have a POSIX. We partition into whether they're cached and whether they're nothing false, or that, so we consider them cached if they are in there. That's our choices, and our choices goes into model clips. So that might effectively throw them out. Well, no, the clip cache is a separate thing. So if I imported the clip cache wholesale, I could sort of run on the fumes of my old stuff. But it would just be for the sake of variety in past hosts. Also, did I fetch... Oh, I did have a host limit, because we're only going to run into... create query string. Okay, yeah, we were only fetching so many things from the host list. No. Okay, so the host list was much longer than the number of clips you would reasonably display during a break or whatever. Also, this I guess was assuming that it was somehow ordered, by view counter. hosting time or what have you. If we were importing the list, we would have to add some sort of random scramble to it. I'd have to figure out how to do that with Elm's random seeds. Now I might be able to use the self-managed seeds rather than the command seeds for that. This is a nope. I mean, I can look at Chatty next time I start up, but I doubt I'm receiving those. So we have host replacement. We would have to be able to import a file. Copy paste may work with next. That would be S27. Which is, I guess, this is almost a separate thing. So this is, in particular, this was excluded clips export. So we think we can import a hostable file, maybe. Which that itself is going to be some... We're going to need at least, we're going to need structures, I have to call them records. We're going to need decoders at least. And we have to do the file import. And then we're going to have to, this is most of it. We have to have the file import link somewhere on there. Then we have to figure out how to, well, exclude certain tags. Figure out how to scramble user list. Possibly rank games. Possible rank tags. Now, I guess the scary thing about this is we don't have export support yet. And I've got this big list built up of included clips, although if we can't get the hosting list, it's going to be a whole bunch of, well, there's going to be some overlap. I tend to notice people who host me. But if we start messing with the persistence format, we have a chance that we break our import or export and write nothing in there and overwrite that. So we might actually want to wait for OBS 27 so we can write the export before messing with stuff. So now I have a good thing to work on. I have this down as a little mini project that I would have to think through a bit. It might also be a little bit too big to do right now. So right now, okay, we get this and we send it no matter what. Oh, we send it as a maybe. Why did I want to send that as a result? Because this goes through a decoder, and the decoder can have errors. And we might want to get the errors so we can debug problems. Well, we've got this. And we just do result to maybe and throw away any decode errors. Oh, right. This was part of the debug.log removal. Because down here, I don't really have a good way to get to a command to send that decode error somewhere. And I guess if it was blank, then we would just And of course, the way to mess with this is to delete the local storage. So we can see what a blank looks like. It might be useful to have that around when we start looking at exporting and stuff. I guess I could tweak the decoders too, but then I'd be worried about it like saving back the wrong data. I could probably copy paste the local storage from my local browser. So that would turn our loaded message into, I guess it would be specifically a decode error. Maybe string decode loaded decoder loaded JSON Oh, so you are a maybe string. And then we can either do loaded as a string. So that would be one way out. The outer program could take it as a string and then decode it itself. And then it would only have to be loaded JSON that would be a result. That's resolve. Loaded maybe state. Sorry dealing with the maybe. We just have to handle either a result or we do split handling. All right, what are all windows set up as? You are doing stream credits currently. You are doing stream credits. You are in stream credits. And I basically need to rename this project. It doesn't actually do hosting anything now. Okay, notes are committed. That's not too big a deal. This was our... Oh, yeah, it did have some other stuff, which just spread over. So, do we do anything with this? That will get a null. A null will not decode. It might be nice to be able to tell if it's an empty storage versus an error. Because like a decode error is an actual error reporting wise. An empty storage is perfectly ordinary situation. That might actually get into the decoder itself. Having some sort of like special, either a maybe or a special type for decoded as nothing. Or maybe that's actually the error type is like no value versus decode error. Oh, I guess I could tweak the key for testing purposes too. Just have to remember to change it back. Let me test the. Well, maybe I could mess with that. Okay, you're cached. That's storage. I don't know if there's really a interface to mess with these here. Well, it knows that. Okay, so I don't think there's anything different here. Although this is local storage loaded, I could have this test before sending anything. Although I might want some kind of event to say that that situation had resolved and we know we don't have anything. Because I think what I often do is have loaded Oh, well, this does do a case. Well, yeah, this does resolve loaded case regardless. And this requests, yeah, it does this stuff. So we have to think through that some more. So to get back the actual error message, you would have to be a result, and you would have to be specifically, which way does a result type go? I think it's error first, actually. Wait, what do you get? Oh, we are using this maybe. So actually, this sort of has that information too. So the maybe string is fine. This is a result. And that's probably... Now this is a maybe and then, which has to go to a maybe, right? This might get a little awkward here. Yeah, it has to go to another maybe type. That might have been the complications I was thinking of when I was doing this. So I actually have to unmaybe this while doing it. Maybe it's just we redo a case. Oh, I actually... you were a maybe string. This is where it might not actually be a JSON decode error. Can I even make JSON decode errors? I mean, I guess you could like decode null and that'd be roughly equivalent. I can. It's a field, index for array, one of for a list of errors, or just a failure string and the value it failed on. But that would be a JSON value. We've already assumed that this is a string. So the maybe allows a null to come through there. Because it could have actually been a null. I guess that would still be a JSON value, technically. I guess, could I specify? I could use an encoder to specify a null. But maybe we want to do a more specific error there. And, oh, we're already having code. So then this actually, well, I guess maybe doing the map error could still be useful there. So this module is not going to be compatible with the main app now. It's in local storage though. Oh, we actually have to say error dot. Actually, no, it's just going to be failure, right? Oh, okay. So we have to do, this is an error of that failure. And then we have the different type in the main app. So you're not just a maybe state. You're like a, well, I guess you could call it a result state. If we then break it down here, but since this is already a switch, now we do have to do our, that's only model stuff. Then each of these needs a command.none. Now, we actually are in a position to do something with the error now, though. Although, I still want to do something special for the no storage case. Well, first of all, does that compile? That compiles. And actually, we have a decode error, don't we? Maybe I didn't in this app? Oh, I just hadn't used it yet. Okay, there was no error there because we arranged it to have something valid. We could just break it. And that might be we have to go back and fix the state. Okay, problem with the given value. Okay. Oh, my local one had no exclusions. So it was all testing stuff. Okay, so that works. Now, if it's just null, which it might end up creating this key every time we run it. Yeah, and you see it saved empty storage. You have, well, I don't know, that might clear everything. No storage. So what's an appropriate way to handle that? We could see if it's a failure that matches null without doing our own custom type. JSON decode dot failure of a string and a value, or a value where value is JSON dot encode dot null. Well, since I'm typing out JSON dot encode dot null twice, maybe I should just have some kind of wrapper here. And then the fact that we're doing a catch-all is a little maybe a little suspicious. You need extra indentation? Are we being white space sensitive here? No. What? That looks fine. Unfinished parentheses. What? There's some stupid syntax error here, and I'm just not seeing it. Do I not have encode here? They have persist encode. I have JSON.encode. What? Oh, I can't specify a qualified constant. Okay, so you can match literals like strings. You can't match this. So we have to do this at a double level. Which is, once again, saying we should probably not do this. Or maybe that's just not comparable. So yeah, maybe that's just not comparable. Which means our local storage has to have like its own error type. Um, do we do it as result custom type value, or as custom type, which can be the value or a decode error or nothing? That's probably more accurate. It's not something you can process as standard result. And in fact, we're going to have to deal with the result here. So it was remote data. It's kind of a similar concept. This is only slightly remote. This ends up being a bunch of miscellaneous values. I don't know if you necessarily want to represent them as in a loading state. This ends up being what, like 4 things here? Exclusions, durations, clip cache, user display names. I guess it could be a more accurate way to represent it. So remote data did have all of those states. This is not quite the same as that. This is just like a load result. So remote data is like loading data failed. No, this is going to be a That means technically this could fall under that too. But it's not JSON. So maybe kind of covers it. This probably can just be a JSON decode dot error. So then the nothing becomes no data. And I think we kind of have to case this. Unless, I think map to map error don't quite do what we want. Map is to a result, and then is to a result. With default throws away the error. Map error maps it to a result. So we kind of just have to do this. and expose that so the app can use it. That's going to change the return type. It's not a result JSON, it's a load result, which we don't have to specify error now. So now we can have a local storage dot data, a local storage dot error, which can just take this. And a local storage dot no data, which I guess would trigger off any events from that. Ah, my tagger changed as well. No, this is in local storage. We didn't get our types right. Is this some things? Oh, you've got a result. E is a wheel. Okay, so now we've got the no-op case where things run. We've got loaded something case. No, it's index. We've got our test data, which is fine, and we've got our other persistent test data, which is fine. Not exactly a result, but we're able to actually... I guess I didn't test actual decode errors, huh? Index. Problem with the given value. Ability to log local storage decode errors. All right, the rest of this is going to be like a major project. But I can at least push out the updates that make it stop hitting a dead end point. All right, we are... Actually, no, that was that. No, actually, I don't need you. So that's it. Thanks to support from subscribers. And that's what I'm usually on. I ended up not being able to do, well, there weren't really fallback plans. I last time it took a long time to switch out the endpoints because removing them doesn't take long. But that is it for now. I've got accounting and maybe a little bit of grocery shopping and stuff to do. Don't know how I'm going to feel tonight. We'll see. Bye-bye.